So, once again, here's a story about some sportsman from a sport I do not know anything about who's been involved in a rape case. But this sportsman was found innocent. But here is the article that says Paddy Jackson is the fella's name. Revived rugby career is a backward step for feminism. No, just for feminism though, not for like society. So at least they're not going too far and too hyperbolic about it. Jackson was acquitted of rape last year. Acquitted of rape. But he is a misogynist and should be banned from professional sport, says Lara White, with a Y. Why? The rugby team London Irish announced this week that Paddy Jackson will join their squad ahead of a return to English Premiership next season. Jackson, 27, who has previously played for Ulster and represented Ireland, was once famous solely for his talents as a fly-half on the pitch, but now is infamous for his role in a grueling, much publicised rape trial last year. A 42-week trial. 42 weeks. Yo. Could you imagine that? Fuck. Of Jackson and his three compadres was followed in acute detail. Evidence presented included the complainant's bloody knickers, medical opinions on vaginal tears, and WhatsApp exchanges between the defendants. Jackson was found not guilty of rape and not guilty of assault. His then teammate, Stuart Olding, was found not guilty of rape. Their friend, Blaine McIlroy, was found not guilty of exposure, and another friend, Roy Harrison, was found not guilty of concealing evidence and attempting to pervert the course of justice. So everyone involved was found not guilty. I suppose that isn't good enough. When all four were acquitted of the charges, protests erupted in cities all over Ireland, with huge numbers gathering in solidarity with the complainant and many, many more online proclaiming #IBelieveHer. This was a provocative challenge to the decision of the jury, or a simple act of solidarity with a young woman whose underwear and personal life had been gawked at by onlookers far and wide, depending on your viewpoint. Public trial, that's what it is. Jackson later had his contract terminated by Ulster and Ireland, as did Olding, who judged that conduct displayed in text messages exchanged by the pair and revealed in the trial fell below the standards expected. But this only happened after significant sustained and noisy pressure from fans and the subsequent impact of sponsors. The full conversation of those WhatsApp texts couldn't be retrieved by police, so we have only snippets. What the fuck was going on? Last night was hilarious. Why are we such legends? There was a bit of spit roasting going on last night, fellas. It was like a merry-go-round at a carnival. We were all top shaggers. Love Belfast sluts. Yeah, I mean, you can read that and go, well, what polite young gentlemen. Well, some rugby boys trying to talk big over WhatsApp. I've never heard of such things. Okay. I found the term Belfast slut particularly repellent, as it portrays the lazy entitlement of a particular band of wealthier suburban visitors to my city. Type any Belfast girl knows when they start going to clubs and pubs. Like the trial itself, it felt very personal. And after the verdicts, I helped to organise a crowdfunding effort to place an advert in Belfast Telegraph calling for Jackson to be sacked by Ulster because of the toxic masculinity displayed in the messages. Toxic. This isn't toxic. It's just prickish. Like, you know what? Certain men can be talk prickish to each other. Young boys, you know, because they're boys. 27, you're a boy. You know, why are we such legends? That's the sort of thing, you know that's said with, I think that's said with seriousness. I would hope not. If you said that seriously, like I could imagine me and my friends saying such things about all kinds of things, and why are we such legends? Like a music with some, not being serious. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of the right words I want to use. Yeah, there was a bit of spit roasting going on last night, fellas. It was like a merry-go-round at a carnival. Bill Tubbs says. Yeah, it's just like taken out of context and or in context. It's not even that like. It's just smack talk, and it's just like just what people talk. It's actions. I said before. It's actions, and the actions have been deemed to be lawful. We reached our target in under 36 hours. The advert was placed into much fanfare, and the inevitable but at times overwhelming social media abuse that occurs when sluts like us venture an opinion. Having ultimately been sacked by Ulster, Jackson secured a contract at a French rugby team. Somewhat away from the attention of the Irish and British public and media, London Irish's decision to hire the player a little more than a year later is not just another galling reminder of the priorities of many sporting organisations. It is also a nasty hint of the backlash that faces women who assert their rights or attempt to participate in public conversations. As feminism and wider rights agendas gain greater traction, so too does resistance, and like most extremist groups these days, it socializes and recruits new members online. More and more ordinary men and boys, even some women, are being drawn into anti-feminist and anti-equality positions. These include the shaming of women who come forward to report sexual assault, and the peddling of lies, and the scale of malicious rape allegations. This is helped enormously by the willful refusal of social media companies to ban those spreading anti-women hatred or taking a stand against misogyny online. In the Jackson case, supposed true fans of rugby have mobilised online, originally campaigning for his reinstatement to the Ulster team, furiously writing their own petitions, crowdfunding their own adverts, issuing a mixture of death threats and general abuse at those of us who think his behaviour warranted his removal in the first place. London Irish coaches Declan Kidney and Les Kiss. I don't know why that name's so funny, but it is Les Kiss. And now handed these trolls a victory, though some of their own fans are vowing to boycott the team. It's quite easy just to go out and say that anyone that supports, redemption of people, and redemption of people who've been found innocent in a court of law, but because of what's in a text, because they label some people as sluts. Like how many times have you heard girls call other girls sluts? Girls call other girls sluts more often than men do. Men don't even mean it half the time, but girls fucking mean it. I really do mean it. They get very, very, very choppy and angry about this kind of thing. And more and more ordinary men and boys, even as some women are being drawn into the anti-feminist. It's because, from what I understand, feminism's gone fucking crazy. And a lot of people don't like what it does and what it stands for. I don't know enough about it. Different ways of feminism to properly critique it. But the things I've seen and the narratives they push, it all seems like fucking nonsense to me. There's a hell of a lot of nonsense surrounding it. Conspiratorial as well. Like proper wacky shit. So, just because you're anti-feminist doesn't mean you're anti-women. I think that's what feminists don't understand, it seems, is that, no, you're not anti-women, you're anti-bullshit. It's an anti-bullshit thing, as far as from what I'm aware of. And I've seen a lot of this sort of stuff. It's anti-bullshit. It's not anti-women. There's a big difference. And from what they've said, if you had, we've only got snippets of the conversation. If you read the whole conversation and you knew, and it's just words. It's words. It's just words. It's just people just talking shit. Do you know what I mean? It's meaningless. A hell of a lot of girls get themselves into situations when they're drunk and shit, and then just regret it, and then they turn around and I think the best thing to do is to cry rape sometimes, when it's not the case, and it destroys lives. It destroys their lives too, because they're girls have been sold this thing of they're these sexual warriors. They're bulletproof and they're strong, and they can do what men can do. They can fucking sleep around like men can, but they can't. A lot of them can't, and it fucks them up. And they end up getting into a situation where they get spit roasted by a bunch of rugby boys. They're probably loving it before then, and then the next day they're like, oh my god, why am I such a slut? and then call the police. It's the problem that happens. This is what happens when you have, when sexuality is so open and free. You get messes like this. It's more and more apparent. The more you think about it, this is what happens. This is the result of that. People talking about having polyamorous relationships and fucking God knows what. It's like, I'm going to do my slut walk. I can sleep with as many men as I want. It's like, all right, go for it. But when the psychological toll makes your brain melt, don't be trying to, fuck over just horny men who literally could not tell their penis no. Especially when you're drunk. Impossible. When you're drunk, if I offered sex or cocaine, you'll just have it. It's drink. Drink fuels lunacy. It's a fact, man. It's a fact. You can't get drunk as fuck and then regret it. Because the man would be the same way. I was drunk as fuck. I wouldn't do that if I was sober. And so the girl feels that way, and the man can feel that way. But why is it that the girl is more of the victim than the man is? Not saying that the man's a victim, but you know what I'm saying. Why is one person's regret so horrific and horrible, and we must believe her because her regret is worth more than a man's regret? I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. But it says at the end, but the question needs to be asked. If being part of a conversation that appears to describe a woman's body as a merry-go-round doesn't get you banned from professional sports, then what progress have we made? What have the feminists and those seeking equality gained to prompt such a vicious backlash? And if it's just a backlash of toxic masculinity and the misogyny in response to no measurable progress for women, then we are, in fact, going backwards. No, we just go around in circles, pretty much. I don't know if you know about life, but it's just everything, nothing changes. I wouldn't feel so downhearted about it. It's just nothing ever changing. But there you go. Found innocent, and yet they want them banned because the term Belfast slut triggered this woman so much that she started a GoFundMe to get them fucking sacked. That's more on you than it is on them. You've got to take responsibility for how you feel about things as well. That's a fact. If a man feels he's been rejected and then turns into an incel murderer, he is responsible for what he has done. He is responsible for how he feels about the situation. So, think about that and use it, and reflect on yourself and how you react to things, and then come talk to me afterwards.